Yeah.
Austin, this was tremendous, dude. Thank you. I appreciate you. And we'll keep rolling, man. Keep crushing. All right, everybody. My name is Grady Polson. Happy to have you on here today. Excited to have our guest trainer on joining us. His name is Mr. Austin Jones, joining us live right now from Nashville, Tennessee. He last month protected 74 families with life insurance. Huge numbers. If you are in the insurance space and you understand math, 74 is over 2 a day. So it's incredible what he's been able to accomplish, the numbers he's been able to put together. And we're going to talk about it today, as well as he has now also built a business with us that, of business for him and his agency that he's working with and coaching. And I'm just excited to get to spend some time with him, hear what he's doing, hear how he's digging in, and learn the secret tricks of the trade that are only developed by time under pressure. So Austin, AJ, do you prefer one or the other? I see both.
I most people that are close to me, they call me AJ, but I'll answer to both. So.
AJ it is. So we're going to go with AJ going forward, but you respond to Austin too. So AJ, man, good to have you on here, bro. Glad you made it. I was cheering you on. Glad you made the drive safe, and you and Josh, but love to have you share a little bit about you, your background, how you found your way to FFL, and what you're working on.
Yeah, sorry I'm not there in person, Grady. Next time.
Next time it is.
But yeah, no, thanks for having me. Super thankful for even being on. But as far as where I came from, so before this, I was actually in the insurance industry as well. I was doing health insurance, so a little different, not too much of a difference, but over there. Everything was going good. I was there for about 2 years. Got a few promotions, was a $1 million producer on my own personal pen. So everything was going pretty good for myself. But same thing, building an agency. And the issue was being duplicatable, as well as my team making money, right? So even though I was making, decent money, making over 6 figures, a lot of people on my team were not. And it was a constant come in and leave, come in and leave. So I just got tired of being in the rat race. So my wife, Kennedy, she actually started sending me videos of Family First Life. So videos of you and videos of other people, sending me these different videos to look at and watch. And at first, I was denying it. I wouldn't watch them. I was happy with where I was at. But what got me was my daughter, she's 5 now, Grady, and my wife has not worked in 6 years. And she watched a video. It was Vivian. And she watched it and she said, I'm about to get my license. If you don't go to Family First Life, I'm going to. So that's when everything kind of clicked to me, and I was like, okay, it's got to be something over here. So I started watching more videos and, just going through the rat wheel, and it just kept seeing that I needed to make a change. So ultimately, it was either get out of leadership, forget about my agency, and just focus on personal production, or try a vehicle where people could actually come, provide for their family as far as financially, as well as make an impact and really help. So I took that leap of faith, came to Family First Life, and haven't looked back since.
That's awesome, man. Quite a story. So so you used part of the license we don't use. I mean, we can do Medicare here. We do a lot of advanced market stuff, IULs, fixed index annuities, but we always tell agents to get their life and health, just because then they have the health license to be able to sell that one Moo accidental product, which is a great add-on pivot downsell type product. But to be in health only, I mean, was it more of a challenge because you're negotiating? Like, I mean, the rates kind of set and it based on kids, and you've got a few, like, what was that like?
Yeah, so we dealt with more like private market options.
Yeah.
It was a specific niche. Like, you had to make decent living, you had to be really healthy. So we dealt with a lot of like business owners, self-employed people. So that was kind of the niche. So if you didn't fit within that niche, I really couldn't help you. We only had 3 products that we could use. And health insurance was tough, because with health insurance, people use it, right? Like with life insurance, there's only one time that you're going to use it, more than likely, right? So
Yeah,
it does
hope
not,
so.
Right. So there's not a lot of customer service. There's not a ton of follow up. But with health insurance, people are using it, and as soon as they see that it didn't work the way they thought it was going to work, you get a lot of cancellations. Open enrollment was huge, so throughout the year it may be somewhat slow, especially for a lot of people that weren't top producers. But open enrollment was what everyone looked forward to. So you basically would have November, December. They would do like an extension in January, and you would make pretty good money. But the rest of the year, a lot of people were struggling. So it was just an issue, especially for me trying to build an agency and create a duplicatable process and recruit and all these different things. It made it very difficult on top of having an extremely low comp. So I didn't even know what comp was. They didn't talk about it. And so I was talking to someone from Family First Life, and they were like, what's your comp? Had no idea, Grady. So in my head, I said 37%. I thought that was really high. I thought I was doing something. And that was not my comp by any means. But I just made it up. And they're like, 37%? That's terrible. Then I found out after 3 promotions, I had a 19% comp.
Oh, wow.
So, doing over $1 million in personal production, the math was not mathing. And so I said, worst case scenario, I can come over to Family First Life. Even if it's not what they told me, I should be able to still provide for my family the same. So what do I really have to lose? And it's been a blessing for sure.
What's it like being able to buy leads at will now, buy customers at will?
Yeah, that's a game changer. That is a game changer because we would purchase leads, right? We would purchase people that were looking for the health insurance, but it just wasn't the same. It was a cap. You could only get so much, and there was no real lead strategy or really even understanding like where to go get them. It was constantly changing, and it was just difficult. So, I mean, obviously you can make it. People make it, right? I'm definitely not talking down on the company. I'm blessed to be a part of that. It was a foundation to really. I feel like this is now jumping into the big leagues and getting that opportunity. It prepared me for this, and so I'm thankful for sure. But it was definitely tough.
How'd you find the transition from the sales process, selling sort of immediate benefits and co-pays and urgent care visits and that type stuff towards living benefits and death benefits and cash value? How'd that transition work for you mentally?
So to be honest, it was not tough because with health insurance, selling the products, you have to explain so much and make sure that the client fully understands what they're getting, especially having a niche. So basically, the way I can put it is you try to make everybody fit into a box compared to coming over here. Now you figure out what product fits for that person, right? So it's definitely makes it easier. Even though we have multiple carriers, I think that's like the most difficult thing in the beginning, knowing where to pivot, how to pivot. It was still a lot easier for me, and I was doing 100% telesales over there. So coming over here and doing 100% telesales, it was not much difference. I mean, sales is sales, right? You follow the sales script, you understand the psychology behind sales. So none of that was really different at all. So I would say the biggest transition was honestly just coming in and forgetting everything that I knew and just following the game plan that, people have proven success before me.
Love it. Okay, so now you're here, you're starting to roll. I remember seeing you at convention. You had some fly gear on. I just remember you were like, you were dolled up, man. It was impressive. Which Caitlin, we'll grab that. Weren't you like a pink suit or something crazy? Like,
Remember the pink suit. If you ask
yeah,
Nicole, she's probably like Patrick Starr.
I like it, dude. Okay, so but let's talk about schedule because that's one of the things. So we'll go schedule, especially with a family, and then let's jump into selling. Like, how you do it. So talk to me about married. You got some beautiful babies,
Yeah.
which is the priority number one, right? And then business or whatever the order, the hierarchy of importance is. But how
Right.
are you balancing life now? Because that's, I think, people come here and maybe you'd been more disciplined from being in telesales and doing health insurance, but that's our greatest challenge is taking an employee mindseted person, which is fine. It's a mindset of someone who works around a clock and we perform our tasks and we get our things done. And then sometimes we bring work home and we think about it. But the reality though, is there's an off, which is nice to have an off. Now, when you're an entrepreneur and you're a business owner and you're a personal producer, and when dad don't sell, kids don't eat, right? There's a lot more pressure that comes with that. How are you, maybe how you were and how are you now with FFL balancing your schedule with your family?
So I'll be honest. At my last opportunity, before here, when I was doing health insurance, I had no balance at all, none. I would literally go in, had to be at the office at 6:30 a.m.
Wow.
I live like 30 minutes from the office, so I would have to be there at 6:30. I'll be one of the first people there, and I wouldn't leave until 11 p.m. So for my first year, I did it every single day. And my wife finally looked at me and was like, something has to change. So, but in my head at the time, it was just kind of like, I have to figure it out. I have to figure it out for us, you know? So I started trying to make an adjustment to my schedule, but it was just so tough because you had to always be there. And it was just so much time that you had to invest in that office environment. And there was a lot of demands. So coming over here to actually be able to have that balance, one thing that I'm extremely grateful for Josh is, you know, he makes sure that we're all set up in a position to be able to, hey, if this person is out of town, going on vacation, they're working hard every single day, they want to take a vacation with their family, guess what? There's a multitude of people that will be able to help you and help your agency continue to get the help that they need while you're gone. So that's a huge plus for me because I can take the evening off and go watch my son's T-ball. I can go to my daughter's dance recital. I can be at everything that I want to be. Right now, obviously, there's still sacrifices that have to be made. If you know me, you know I travel a ton. That's I choose to, right? Because I want to grow this thing. I want to grow it fast. So we do lock-ins, and we do that once a month. So constantly traveling on the road, doing that. But for my family, we just communicate. She knows my schedule. She knows we make sure we have date nights. We make sure, you know, on the weekends things are getting done. But it's just a huge communication. But the balance over here is I wouldn't say it's a huge like work-life balance. I don't really know what that is, but ultimately you have a schedule and you stick to that schedule, and that helps me have
What is
that
it right now?
work-life.
So what is your schedule? Just for, because people are looking for something to copy. I remember, you know, I get two salads from Costco and three LaCroix and three energy drinks, and I would leave for 14 hours. And
Yeah.
so what, and then I go, let me run my appointments, dial days. I'm up, I'm on the phone by 7:55. This is a previous life versus the kind of one call close telesales world that a lot of us have transitioned to. So what is a 74 family a month producer schedule that the agents that are watching and then watching on recording can go, all right, I may not do all that he's able to do, and his skill set might be a little bit past where I am today, but he's also been selling for longer than me, but I need something to copy. So what would be advice for you to kind of give to these guys?
Absolutely. So I try to be on Zoom at least by 7 a.m. I'm Central Time Zone. I do telesales, 100% telesales. So try to be on the phone by 7 a.m., which is 8 a.m. Eastern. And I normally focus on production from 7 a.m. to about 11. Take a little midday break, go work out, get lunch, whatever, from 11 to about 1. Focus on recruiting and training and different things like that from like 1 to about 3, and then I'm back at it from 3 until normally about 7.
Okay, cool. And that's 5 days a week, 7 days a week, 4 days a week?
So Sunday I work like half a day, but other than that, Monday through Saturday, that's pretty much my schedule. Unless you know it's a baseball game or something like that.
Sure. Sure. You know, are you gonna be home for dinner? Well, I'm home, but I've got an appointment booked at 6:30. So we'll see how that goes. If they're there, we're thumbs up. If they're not there, I'll be there to be there for dinner. I mean, that's how it was for me.
Yep.
But it's a disciplined schedule. Now, let's say ballpark in a week. How many presentations will you give?
The goal is 25 every single week. That's
25 a week. So
yep.
how many ballpark, how many dials are you making to get there?
On average, I would say I'll probably make $300 to $500 a day to do that. So yeah, that's the target for our entire agency. Everybody's goal is 25 presentations a week.
What do you use to dial?
Before?
Or no, what do you use to dial now? What is
Oh, now
what's your phone?
we use phone burner.
Oh, awesome. Okay. And then what's your top three favorite lead types?
Good question. So for me, I like internet leads, obviously 1 month, 3 month. I like those because a lot of people they get the instance, and a lot of people are right now just I guess a secret, right? A lot of people still do face to face, so they buy their leads Sunday, they call them on Monday, they work them Tuesday, Wednesday, they buy more leads Wednesday night, and they move on unless they go door knock. Well, if I get it at 1 month, I get a lot of people that have never been worked, and I just got it for $4.
Yeah.
$3, right? So you get more objections up front, but we're trained on how to handle those upfront objections. So it really doesn't matter if you already got it taken care of or whatever it is. So like I definitely like the 1 month to 3 month, and then I do some mortgage as well. It's kind of slowed down right now, but I do like some mortgage as well.
I mean, that's the reality. Yeah, there was during the great time when interest rates were 2%, everyone's refinancing and buying houses. Interest rate 7%. Does that mean we stop selling life insurance? No, it means we just be smart about it and we transition to a different thing. And then we even use it in our presentation. Hey, Bob and Betty, I understand interest rates are crazy right now, but what most people are doing is they're protecting their mortgage right now, or they're protecting their home, or they're putting life insurance in place to protect their most valuable asset. I mean, you can still use a mortgage protection presentation when you get a client on the phone that happens to have a home. Now, do you own any assets? Do you own your home? No, we rent. Okay, well, you don't use it there. Well, yeah, we own our home. Then you can get right back into a mortgage protection presentation with an internet lead you bought for $3. And dude, I love it, man. A $3 lead that is 31 days old. This is a brand new lead I mean, you can buy 4 times the amount of leads and just more at bats. I mean, that's really the goal here, is to get agents at bats. And if they look at that, and it's great perspective for you. Now, what is your average buying days? When do you buy leads?
I buy leads Sundays and Wednesdays. So Sunday
Sundays
night,
and Wednesdays.
yeah, so it's still the same there.
How many states you buy in?
I personally buy a lot in North Carolina.
Just one state, or I mean, I'm just.
But I have multiple states, so but like if I'm going to buy in a specific county, I kind of stick with North Carolina for some reason. But
Right.
I have my license in like 42 states.
40, that's a bunch of states.
Yeah.
That's a whole bunch of states. That's
Yeah.
cool. Yeah. So I mean, which gives you, like, a lot of times you can build more rapport with clients too. Oh, you're in Burlington. Oh, perfect. I've got clients in there, and I've got, you kind of know the area, and they say stuff, then you can start to build some rapport with them. That's
Mhm.
awesome, bro. So I'd love it if you would kind of give us, are you a one call closer, or are you a appointment setter and follow back upper?
No, just one call close. I've done this since I was in health insurance, so I try not to book appointments if I don't have to. So just one call close.
They answered the phone there, and they're not. Oh, I'm in a meeting. Okay, well, you answered the phone. So you have a minute right now to. I mean, I'd love if you would kind of go through it, right?
Mhm.
And we don't need to role play, because I'm never that good of a role player. But I'd love it if you would just kind of. If you want me to role play, I'll role play. I just
You
kind
can
of
role
screwed
play.
up
It's fine.
sometimes.
Whatever you want to do, it doesn't matter.
I love you kind of, share with everyone what Austin Jones says to kind of hook up, from ring ring to we're filling out an app.
Okay, cool. So ring ring. Hey,
Hello.
great.
All right, we won't do it. I'm gonna screw it up. See, I tried to see.
It's
No,
fine. It's fine. I got you.
you just
Hey,
go.
hey,
Screw it
hey,
up.
hey, Grady. This is Austin. I'm just giving you a call back in regards to the state-regulated life insurance request that you made. Looks like you put down your date of birth here is 1/12/1996. Is that correct? Okay, perfect. So yeah, we're doing everything virtually now. So I'll have you off the phone here in a sec, but go ahead and grab a pen and paper. That way I can give you some information to write down, and just let me know when you're ready. Okay. So from there, I just have them write down my name, my national producer number, gain some credibility. So after that, it depends on the lead. If it's just a final expense, I ask them power questions, right? Is this something you've been looking around for a while now? Are you still working? Do you have a bank account? All the power questions that we have, Josh Williams script, you guys probably have.
I don't. Yeah, share away. I mean, a lot of people don't. A lot of people know who Josh is, but they haven't seen all of his trainings. But
I got you. Cool. So if anybody needs Josh's script, let me know. We can get it to you. But power questions, super simple. That just kind of prepares you and helps you to know which direction you need to go. If they have direct express card.
4 of them. Give me 3, 4 of them, just so we.
So the main ones I always ask is this something you've been looking around for a while now?
Okay.
I always ask, are you still working full time, retired, disabled? I always ask, do they have a bank account or a direct express card? And the last one after that, I just make sure that they're somewhere available to be able to write down the information, and we can talk right now. So from that point, we kind of transition And from there, I just kind of give them a briefing on, how I'll be able to assist them. So Grady, the way I'll be able to assist you today, super simple. I'm a broker with the state. So I actually have access to every single carrier available to you. I'm a little bit different than the normal sales reps they would send out your way. I'm going to ask you about 5 medical questions, and depending on how you answer those, that'll give me a good idea on which carriers would deny you and which ones may approve you. Okay. So from that point, I'm going to pull up some options. We'll go over some numbers. You'll tell me what makes the most sense. And from there, we're going to submit an application to see if we can actually get you approved on the coverage. Does that make sense?
Yes.
Perfect. And then from there, we just go into the financial inventory sheet.
So, I mean, so smooth, so smooth, so simple. You're taking control. I mean, you're asking them to get a pen within 15 seconds of being on the phone with them.
Yeah, absolutely. The faster you get them to grab that pen and paper, you're in control. So once they do that, I want them to get that as fast as possible. I'm in control, and from that point, it should be smooth sailing.
Okay. So, I mean, common rebuttals are what I didn't fill this out, or who is this again? I mean, either of those.
Yeah. Okay. So I didn't fill this out.
Yeah, I didn't fill this out.
Got it, Grady. Yeah, no worries. So what I do, I go back to verifying information. So yeah, Grady, no worries. I must have confused you. This is actually the request that you put in. It came from Grady Paulson 123 at gmail.com. That's you, correct?
Oh, that's me.
Okay, perfect. Yeah, so like I said, won't take long at all. We're doing everything virtually now, so I'll have you off the phone here in a sec. But just grab that pen and paper. That way we can get this knocked out for you really quickly, okay? Just let me know when you're ready.
Just push for it. Okay. Okay. So we get farther down the app and they go, all right, this sounds good, but I want to look at my other options.
Yeah, absolutely. I definitely understand why you want to look at some other options. But like I said, Grady, in the beginning, I'm a broker with the state, so I actually have access to every single carrier available to you. So what I've been doing here for you is actually shopping all your different options. And based on what you've told me, you were looking for some coverage to be able to take care of your entire mortgage. You want to make sure that when your kids are 18, they're able to go to college, and you know that you are the only breadwinner. Your wife is not working right now, so if something were to happen, that's the reason why you were looking for this coverage to happen. So I looked through all these options, and this is going to be the one that makes the most sense. As of right now, what we're doing today is just verifying which one makes sense for you financially, as well as the benefit amount. And then we're just going to submit that application. So again, which option makes the most sense, the first, second, or the third option?
Actually, so how do you give them your options? Do you have them? You have them write them out? Do you take
Yeah.
write them out,
So,
take a picture, and send it to them? How do you, how do you show that?
yeah. So I have them write it down. So I have them write down. I have them write down 3 different options, depending on what it is. If it's term or whole life. If it's term, then I'm going to have them write it down. I'm going to sell them on value right before I even go over any type of prices. So it depends on what the reason is, and when I go through the value and I'm presenting that to them, I'm going to use that against them every single time.
Okay.
So I have them write down 3 options. Let's say it's 450,000, 300,000, 200,000. And then 450,000, this option here, Grady, the reason why most people will go this route, they're really smart with their money. They have a great understanding for leaving the most coverage behind that they possibly can. Now, Grady, I know the importance for you was making sure that the entire mortgage is going to be taken care of. But not only is that going to be taken care of with this $450,000 option, it's actually going to include some income replacement as well. So that way you can leave that absolute most coverage behind for your family, which I know is going to be the most important thing for you. So if you were to go this direction, Grady, that's just going to be $273 a month. And I always break it down by weeks too. So I would just divide it by 4 really quickly and tell them how much it's going to be just per week.
64.
I have no idea. I always have my calculator. So I would say that's just going to be just going to be 273 a month that you'll be setting aside, Grady. Just about $68 a week. Okay.
$8 a week, about $10 a day to protect your family. And now is that cash back? Do I get all my money back with that option?
Yeah. So if it's cash back, then we're definitely going to go over that route as well. So I'll do the math as far as how much you be putting into it per month, multiply that by 12, then multiply that by 30, and let you know that's how much you're going to get back at the end.
So it's just, okay. So if I was to summarize it, it's quick. Get them to start writing stuff down because they're now agreeing to doing something for you, now taking control of them in their home across the county lines. They're writing stuff down on your behalf. And as long as you hold your posture and control, they're going to respond and you're going to lead them down this path. Is that
It's
Fair.
that simple. Yep, that simple. To the point to where now you choose options. The next step to transition before we get into the application, I brief you on what the application process is going to look like. So I say, okay, Grady. So the next step, super simple. It's only going to take a couple minutes. Just getting the application pulled up here. It's just going to be some basic demographics like name, street address, height, and weight. They are going to check your medical records through your social just to verify you are as healthy as you say you are. From that point, we'll get the pre-approval. They're going to allow us to put down your beneficiaries of your choice. And from that point, we'll put down the routing and account number that you're going to want it to be drafted out of at that time. Does that make sense?
It does. Yes.
Okay, perfect. So go ahead and give me the legal spelling of your first and last name for the recorded line, please.
Legal spelling. That's good. I like that. That's good. Austin, these are great. This is okay. So we go through it. We get the app. How do you close? How do you solidify the sale? Assert yourself as their broker. They pops up approved, pops up pending, whatever. But how are you asserting yourself at the last 45 seconds in that call to make sure that they know that I'm locked in with Austin? I'm not taking more calls. How do you solidify that relationship with them?
Absolutely. So one thing I actually stole this from Nicole, but I say, all right, Grady, I got good news and bad news for you. Which one do you want first?
Bad news first.
Well, the bad news is, Grady, you're stuck with me for life.
That's good.
The good news is you actually got approved. So we got you approved for the $450,000 cashback option. So this is going to be a policy package you're going to be receiving. Normally takes anywhere from 5 to 10 business days. We're going to make sure it's emailed out to you as well. Okay. Now, Grady, I do want to let you know because you filled out that request online, you may receive some more phone calls. There are going to be some other sales reps. Just let them know you got it taken care of. Put you on the national do not call registry, and you're good to go. If anybody tries to present you with anything, just out of respect, all I ask is come to me. We'll look it over. If it makes more sense, I would recommend you go that route. But I promise you, Grady, if it made more sense, I would have recommended it for you because I have access to it. Okay. After that, if you have any questions, what I do want you to do, I want you to write down my name and my number and give that to your beneficiaries because I want to make sure they have my information as well. Okay.
So,
Any questions at all about what we did today? Everything's good to go. You want me to go ahead and submit that application and get this knocked out for you, correct?
yes.
Okay,
Double
perfect.
compliment right there. So you ask them again right there.
Yeah, yeah.
So if there's any objections or rebuttals, they're going to push back right there, and you're going
Yep.
to
Yeah. So
you'll press it
sometimes
right.
they'll say, "Oh, well, yeah, and I still just kind of want to think about it, right?" So I'm able to handle that before we get off the phone instead of them trying to call in and cancel the policy or something weird.
It's good. Now, what do you do for any follow up? Do you send an email? Do you send a packet, thank you card? What do you do for like a touch points post sale?
I'll be honest, I definitely need to get better about that. I really don't do much at all. I'll send them a little congratulations, you got approved text message in a couple of days just to make sure that they know. And I also send, their start date when it's going to come out. So it's going to come out immediately. It's going to be this amount per month. I'll send that in a text message as soon as we're done. But outside of that, I don't really do anything.
Okay, seems good though. No
I
clients
mean,
appreciate the text.
yeah, they respond. I tell them once they get the policy packet, to reach out to me and we can go through that if they need to. But nobody ever calls me. I
Uh,
have once every in a while.
yeah, they just have a couple questions they want to review. That's awesome, man.
Yeah,
Austin, this was tremendous, dude. Thank you. I appreciate you, and we'll keep rolling, man. Keep crushing.
yes, sir. Thank you.